A man was fishing on the sea. Who knows that after pulling up the fishing net, he found a sexy girl. This is a deep sea area. Although things seem a bit strange, but the man did not choose to see death to save. This woman seems to have lost her memory. She refused to tell him anything. He thought the woman just fell into the water by accident, but he didn't know that she was a legendary mermaid. After the woman calmed down, the man wanted to take her to the hospital, but the woman refused to agree. She said she didn't want to see another person. The man had no choice but to take her home. Looking at the woman's despondent state, the man put a blanket on her. He went to get some warm clothes. He didn't know that this kindness would bring him a fortune. The next morning, the man was ready to go out to sea as usual, but the woman begged him to go with her. But there was a local custom. If you take a woman on a fishing boat, you'll go home empty-handed. The man didn't want to go, but he couldn't resist the woman's persuasion. He finally agreed to let her go with him, and so it was. The man was busy at sea all morning. He didn't even catch a single fish or shrimp. The woman seemed to see his despondency. Suddenly she sang a song. Her voice seemed to have some kind of magic. In a short while, the man caught a whole basket of lobsters. Even the most expensive salmon was caught in a big bowl. The man can't believe it. No one has ever caught so many fish in this season, and the man began to wonder. The woman's singing brought him good luck. Soon he sold all the fish, and with the money, the man bought her a beautiful dress and a few other necessities. In return, the woman suddenly gave him a kiss, and it was this kiss that made the single man fall in love with her. Since the divorce, his ex-wife started a new family. He has a 7-year-old daughter. She suffers from severe kidney failure. She needs dialysis to survive. The man told his daughter all the strange things that happened in the past few days. When she heard it, she immediately guessed. The mysterious woman in the fishing net must be the legendary mermaid. It is said that her song can communicate with the sea. As long as someone sheds a tear for her, the mermaid can stay on land forever. But the men don't believe it at all. How could such a strange thing happen in the world? That day, the little girl came to her father's house. She saw her swimming in the water. The little girl believed the mermaid could cure her, but the woman denied it. She learned that she was a man's daughter. The two soon became friends. One sunny morning, the man asked the woman to go sailing with him. He was in charge of the nets. The woman helped him steer the boat. Just then, a speedboat suddenly passed by. The woman was very nervous when she saw it. She seemed worried about being seen by strangers. She had to sit on the ground and steer the boat with her feet. Then the woman's song started again. The man had a big net full of salmon, just like last time. This also made the man wonder, is she really a mermaid? Shortly after, a couple of marine patrolmen boarded the boat to inspect it. They praised the man's good luck. They found another woman hiding in the cabin, but they didn't cause any trouble. Soon they were gone, and the woman saw the strangers. They were not as scary as they thought they were. She was finally willing to go to a crowded place. The man introduced her to his daughter, and bought the woman new clothes. Since coming to this small village, the woman has grown to love life here. The little girl said she wanted to learn to swim, so the woman took her to the sea. While swimming, she found a backpack. When she got home, she hid it. The little girl soon realized it was the skin of a mermaid. Legend has it that if you bury the skin deep in the ground, the mermaid can stay on land for 7 years. But every time he asked the woman, she wouldn't admit it. So he came up with a plan. During a celebration at sea, the little girl deliberately sailed out to sea in a wheelchair. When the woman realized the danger, and shouted at her to stop, but the little girl went down without a second thought. The woman took off her shoes. She jumped into the sea right after her. In a short time, the little girl was pulled out, although she was almost frozen, but she had no regrets. She told her father she saw her breathing in the water. When he got home, the man stood in the doorway and thought for a long time. Suddenly, he kissed the woman. Just a few days together, she not only brought good luck to himself, and saved his daughter's life. He asked the woman, "Are you really a mermaid?" But the woman asked him to make a wish. "If I really am a mermaid, then your wish will come true." The man wished that she would stay here forever. He also wished that his daughter would get better. Just as the man finished speaking, on the other hand, his ex-wife had a serious car accident because of drunk driving. When the man received the news, he rushed to the scene like a madman. He learned that his ex-wife's current husband died on the spot. His daughter was also injured and hospitalized, but the doctor told him the good news. His daughter's kidney was a perfect match for her husband's. The doctor immediately did a kidney transplant for his daughter. The daughter was cured completely. Soon after, the ex-wife held a funeral for her husband. She believed that this disaster was caused by that woman of unknown origin. She used the custody of her daughter as blackmail. She forced the man to cut off his relationship with her. The man thought about it for a long time. This series of coincidences and the car accident last night, the man finally believed she must be the legendary mermaid. A man takes a woman out to sea, and kept accusing her, although she brought good luck. But the good fortune was followed by the suffering of her family. The woman didn't defend herself. She didn't dare reveal her secret. The man took her to an abandoned island, and even though she couldn't bear to part with him, she left. The woman learned that she had been abandoned. She complained loudly. Even if they were to part, why didn't they say a word of goodbye? When the man's boat was gone, the woman sat helplessly on the reef. She seemed to accept her fate. Then she took off her coat, and dove into the water. Even though she was reluctant to leave, she couldn't find an excuse to stay. After her daughter recovered, the man managed to bring her home. But without the companionship of love, his life had become hopeless. At noon that day, the man suddenly heard a foreign singer singing on the TV, and that song is exactly what the woman sang. He suddenly realized it wasn't the mermaid's voice. To confirm his suspicions, he hurriedly sailed to the island. He soon found the woman. He asked her to tell him the truth, and the man finally knew. Turns out, she's just an ordinary woman. Because of smuggling goods, she and her companions were targeted by the marine police. During the arrest, she used her courage to escape. Later, because of her physical exhaustion, when she was about to die at sea, she was saved by a man's fishing net. that's why she was afraid to meet strangers. After the truth was revealed, the man took her home. But suddenly there was a mysterious man in the house. Turns out she's the woman's missing companion. This man has been investigating the island for a long time. Today, they finally found the woman's address. They threatened to make her hand over the diamonds. In order to ensure the safety of the man and the little girl, she had to dig for the backpack, but she couldn't find it. The little girl had hidden it somewhere else. In order for the woman to stay with her father forever, she thought the bag contained the skin of a mermaid. Finally, the little girl told her where it was after she persuaded her. The backpack was hidden in the sea. While they were searching for it, the woman saw the right moment. Then she yanked on the rope. The two villains were thrown into the sea. Because they could not swim, they were quickly arrested by the police, and the woman, who had been their accomplice, was eventually taken away. The man went to the priest and told him his troubles, and told the strange story, but because she was a foreigner and would be deported after her sentence. He asked the priest for a solution to his problem. The kindly priest told him, if you marry, the woman can stay here forever. The man didn't hesitate for a second. The day the woman was freed, they got married right away, and from then on, the three of them lived happily ever after. It was an unexpected ending. It's like a fairy tale. It's exactly the kind of love we all want.